900 last by pro 1, 900 2, 900 1000, 1100, 1100 1, 1200 by pro 1200 1, 1200 2, 1200 3 sold to pro.
Why, Dipesh, why I get the feeling whenever I chips in, that particular player goes to my team. Why is it so?
I mean, because we are that focused, sir. Though you are here, but you are like playing some eye games with your team, I guess. कुछ तो उनको मतलब फोकस अटेंशन में आपकी तरफ हिप्नोटाइज करके रखा है.
Once again, just wanted to remind you all that whatever balance you have, you need to go for all those players within that balance only. You are not going to get extra money for it. And you have to complete the quota of 15 players. That is also mandatory.
All right. Next player is Deepak Naik, Deepu. All right. Spoil bats 200 for Deepu, 201, 202, 300 by Navdurga, 300 by Navdurga, 301, 302, 303 sold to Navdurga. Next one, please. Sagar Gawali. Sagar, nickname Gawi. So from again from New Tilak Nagar. Anyone for Sagar? Call 1. Anyone for Sagar? Call 2. Anyone? Yes, Kaira. 200, 201, 202, 203 sold to Kaira.
I would like to tell about Sagar. He is the person who has got the longest run up in Tilak Nagar. He is the only person who has got the longest run up in Tilak Nagar. Really, one should appreciate the eyes of Mr. Prasanna Naik. His eyes on this guy and took him in his team actually.
All right. Next one. Yoda bus. All right. Next one is Frankie Nainan. Frank. Anyone for Frank? All right. Ranu. 201, 200, 300 by Kaira, 301, 302, 400, 500, 500 by Siddhivinayak Champs, 501, Kaira, 600, 601, 700, Ranu, 701, 700, 800 by Siddhivinayak, 801, 802, 900, 1000, 1000 last by Ranu, 1001, 1002, 1100, 1200, 1201, 1202, 1300 Ranu, 1301, 1302, 1400, 1500, 1501, 1502, 1600, 1700, 1701, 1702, 1800, 1801, 1802, 1900, 1901, 1902, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2100, 2101, 2102, 2003, 200, 2201, 2202, 2300, 2301, 2302, 2400, 2401, 2402, 2500, 2501, 2502, 2600, 2601, 2602, 2700, 2701, 2702, 2800, 2801, 2802, 2900, 2901, 2902, 2900, 2000, 3000, 3001, 3002, 3003 sold. तीसरा गया था सर. आई एम गिविंग यू गाइस. यस 3000 रानू. गाइस 1 और 2 में आपको काफी टाइम मिल रहा है. 3 में आई कांट स्टॉप. संजय जगताप अगेन एन ऑलराउंडर फ्रॉम न्यू तिलक नगर. संजय जगताप. anyone yes. Spoil brats 201, 202, 203 sold to Spoil brats.
Babu.
आफ्टर द लिस्ट वो लोग बैलेंस बताएंगे, वो लोग कैलकुलेशन चालू। अब 1 मिनट का ब्रेक है, बट आप कहीं ना मत उठिए। ऑलमोस्ट डन है अभी। हाँ? 300 अभी का 300 था ना। हाँ।
For the benefit of the all the owners. ओनर्स नाइक साहब प्लीज थोड़ा अटेंशन दीजिए, क्योंकि अभी लास्ट के आधा घंटा बाकी बचा है और मैं बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट अनाउंसमेंट करने जा रहा हूं कि आई एम गोइंग टू प्ले विद यू। दिस इज द कमिटी डिसीजन। रोहित शिंदे के चेहरे पे देखिए कैसे शिकन आ गई। सो बॉस, अभी आपके पास में जितने पॉइंट्स हैं, आई एम गोइंग टू अनाउंस दैट रानो फाइटर्स दे हैव बैलेंस ऑफ 1500 पॉइंट्स। दे हैव ऑलरेडी परचेज 9। 6 प्लेयर अभी भी आपको परचेस करने हैं। नव दुर्गा वॉरियर, you have 1800 points left. You have purchased 8 players so far, and still 7 player need to purchase within the balance which you have. सिद्धि विनायक चैम्प्स 4000 बैलेंस, 6 प्लेयर लिए, 9 प्लेयर और लेने बाकी हैं। सक्षम मराठास 4700 बैलेंस है, 6 प्लेयर लिए, 9 प्लेयर बाकी। स्पॉइल ब्राइट्स 900 रुपए बचे हैं, 7 प्लेयर लिए, 8 प्लेयर बाकी। कायरा टाइटन 3500 इज द बैलेंस। आपको 9 प्लेयर आपने ले लिए और 6 प्लेयर्स बाकी। यूएन तिलक बॉयज 3800 पॉइंट्स लेफ्ट, 6 प्लेयर्स यू हैव परचेस्ड एंड 9 प्लेयर्स अभी भी लेने बाकी हैं। और प्रो गियर स्पोर्ट्स 1000 रुपीज बैलेंस, 8 प्लेयर्स यू हैव परचेस्ड, स्टिल 7 प्लेयर लेने बाकी हैं। दूसरी बात, और एक बात चीज बता दूं, इवन दो देयर आर फ्यू ओनर्स दोज हु आर प्लेइंग माइंड गेम, इवन दो अगर आपके पास में बैलेंस बच भी जाएगा तो उस बैलेंस का कुछ फायदा नहीं है। उस बैलेंस को अगले साल यूज नहीं किया जाएगा, ना ही उस बैलेंस को बैंक में डाला जाएगा कि 5 साल के बाद में डबल किया जाएगा। तो प्लीज मेक श्योर यू यूज योर बैलेंस वाइजली।
All right, guys, I'm back. Now, the next.
उन्होंने सेल्फी लेने के लिए सेल्फी खींचने के लिए अपना
Well, for me, there is only one. $200.
200 में
All right, next player. 300. Sorry. Next player. 200, 200, 300 नहीं. 100 इनका था, 200 उनका था. 200, I was right. प्रशांत, next. चलो. Well, I think Pradeep, आता भाच्यावर एक सेल्फी काढ. Next is Rahul Shetty. I mean, I love one shot about him when he walks, like he's walking on the ramp and he hits a nice glance towards leg side. So 101, 200, 201, 300, 301, 300, 400, 500, 501, 502, 600, 700, 701, 702, 800, 801, 802, 900, 1000, 1100, 1100, 1200, 1201, 1202, 1300, 1400, 1401, 1402, 1500, 1500, 1600, 1601, 1602, 1700, 1701, 1702, 1700, 1800, 1801, 1802, 1900, 1901, 1902, 1903. Sold to Kaira. All right, the next one is Saurabh Lanke. I'm sure he has got bias. Saurabh Lanke. Tilak boys, 101, 102, 100, 200, 200, 300, 301, 302, 300, 400, 401, 500, 501, 502, 503. Sold to Tilak boys. 500. Amit Kharale. Anyone for Amit? Anyone for Amit? Call number 1. Anyone for Amit? Call number 2. All right, 100, 200, 300, 301, 302, 400, 401, 402, 400, 500, 501, 502, 600, 601, 602, 700, 701, 702, 703. Sold to Tilak boys.
he's also one player who has been consistently performing in in all the form of matches actually.
Amir Siddiqui. Amu. Anyone for Amir? Anyone for Amir? Any bias for Amir? 100, 200, 201, 202, 300, 400, 401. Which one? 400 ही हो गया. आपका है? 401, 402, 403. Sold to Siddhivinayak. Prathamesh Parab. Another champ. Prathamesh. Any bias for Prathamesh? Call 1. Any bias for Prathamesh? Yes, now Durga. 100, 200, Ranu. 201, 300, 300, 400. By Siddhivinayak. 401, 402, 500, 600, 601, 602, 700, 701, 702, 800, 801, 802, 900, 900, 1000, 1001, 1002, 1000, 1100, 1101, 1100, 1200, 1201, 1202, 1200, 1300, 1301, 1302, 1400, 1401, 1402, 1400, 1500, 1600, 1601, 1602, 1600, 1700, 1700, 1800, 1801, 1802, 1803. Sold to Saksham. Subbu is the man who is sitting right now or with the tech team. Any buyers for Subbu? Any buyers for Subbu? Call one. Any buyers for Subbu? Yes, Siddhi Vinayak champs. 101, 102, Navdurga 200, 201, 300, Siddhi Vinayak 301, 400, 401, 402, 403 sold to Navdurga. All right, next one. Mahesh Barde, Binu. Any buyers for Mahesh? Any buyers for Mahesh? Any buyers for Mahesh? Yes, Ranu. Ranu 101, 100, 200 Kaira, 201, 202, 300, 300 Ranu, 301, 302, 400, 500, 400, 401, 402, 403 sold to Kaira. Prashant Suvarna. Any buyers for Prashant? Any buyers for Prashant? Any buyers for Prashant? All right, Prashant will have to wait. Next man, please. Sunny Bingardive, Rana. Sunny, any calls for Sunny? Any calls for Sunny? All right, 100, 200, 201, 202, 300, 301, 302, 303 sold to Saksham. Ashok, I have to look everywhere, dost. I can't hurry things. विजय शेट्टिगार, विजू. इसके डोले देख के लग रहा है मतलब ये तो लंबे लंबे मारता है. All right, any buyers for Viju? Yes, Navdurga 101, 102, 200 spoil brats, 201, 300, 301, 302, 303 sold to Siddhivinayak. 300. Ramesh Sarma. Any buyers for Ramesh? Any buyers for Ramesh, sir? All right, Siddhivinayak 101, 102, 103 sold to Siddhivinayak. Nirav Shah. Any buyers for Nirav? Any buyers for Nirav? Give me a heads up. Any buyers for Nirav? Give me a heads up. All right, Tilak boys. 101, 102, 103 sold to Tilak boys. Nirav will be like, चलो अभी कीपिंग तो है सेट बॉस, कैप्टनसी भी मिल ही जाएगी. Sagar Barde. Any buyers for Sagar? Any buyers for Sagar? Pro 101, 102, 103 sold to Pro. Samir More, Sammy. Any buyers for Sammy? Come on, give me a heads up. Guys, fast. 1, 2. Monster boy. Spoil brats. Samir More, 101, 102, 103 sold to Spoil brats. Samir Shukla. I think you know him very personally. Was there some kind of a hot air balloon gas that was put into him and he suddenly kind of like, But I remember Samir, that slim and trim Samir, but suddenly some hot air gas just went inside him. All right, any bias for Samir? Call one. Any bias for Samir? Call two. All right, spoil brats, 100, 200. No? Okay. 100, 101, 102, 103. I think this was the most easy bit. Then I just said 1, 2, 3, and it's done. All right, next one. Oh man, he is one man that everyone is searching him, because one special quality about him was he is a very good captain and he is a very good person who just says a particular thing and वो हो जाता है.
And one
मतलब
more,
बाकी कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है, बस हो जाता है.
नहीं नहीं, और एक चीज है कि अगर इसको अगर टीम में ले लिया तो बाय डिफॉल्ट आपको मिल जाएगी ये ट्रॉफी.
All right. But rules are rules, sir. We've already announced it to everyone. So 100, any buyers for Swaroop Falke? Yes, Tilak boys. Pro, 200, 300, 301, 302, 400, 400 Ranu, 400, 500, 501, 502, 503 sold to Tilak boys. Tausif Khichdi. Anyone for Tausif? Anyone for Tausif? Call number one. All right. Pro, 101, 200, 201, 202, 200, 300, 301, 302, 303 sold to Ranu. Suresh Kadam. Morning he told me he did not register. I don't know. But he's one good player. Suresh Kadam. A good name, a good cricketer for this Tilak Nagar. Any bias for him? Suresh Kadam. Suresh Kadam. Any bias? Give me a heads up. Call number one. Any bias for Suresh? Call number two. Any bias for Suresh? Call number three. Suresh will have to wait. Next one, please. Sanal Johnny. Sanal. Anyone for Sanal? Anyone for Sanal? Give me a heads up. All right, Siddhi Vinayak, 100. 100. Siddhi Vinayak. 200. Spoil brats. 201. 202. 300. 301. 302. 303. Sold to Siddhi Vinayak.
Spoil brats, they wanted
Next
to
one, please.
bid for Sanal, but somehow they don't have that much money, so they can't.
They've got a giant with them. All right, there will be a 2 minutes break. नक्कीच आपल्यासोबत उपस्थित आहेत मापुसकर सर, त्यांचं सुद्धा इथे टिळकनगर प्रीमियर लीग ऑक्शन मध्ये मी स्वागत करतो. सर वेलकम.
Guys, the balance which you have at the end of this fourth session, Rano Fighter, they have got 1200 points left. 10 players bought, so 5 players अभी भी लेने बाकी हैं. So ये 1200 रुपए में लेने हैं. Now Durga Warrior, you have 1400 points left. 9 players you have bought so far and 6 players baki. Siddhi Vinayak Champs, 2900, that is the balance you have right now. 10 players you have bought so far, so 5 more players to go. Shaksham Maratha, 2600 is the point you have. 8 players you have purchased so far. Shaksham Maratha, 8 players you have purchased so far, still 7 to go. And Spoiled Brats, 9 players you have bought so far, 700 is the balance, and 6 players still have to be completed. Kyra Titans, 1200 is the balance you have. 1200 is the balance you have, Kyra. 11 players you have bought, still 4 more to go. UN Tilak Boys, 2000 is the balance. 10 players you have bought, 5 players to go. And Pro Gear Sports, 700 is the balance. 10 players you have bought, 5 players to go. अगेन बता देता हूं, रानू फाइटर को 5 प्लेयर लेने हैं, नवदुर्गा को 6, सिद्धि विनायक चैंप्स को 5, सक्षम मराठा को 7, स्पॉइल ब्राइड्स को 6, कायरा टाइटन को 4, यूएन तिलक बॉयज को 5 और प्रो गियर स्पोर्ट्स को 5 प्लेयर. एंड द बैलेंस विच दे हैव, रानू फाइटर्स 1200, नवदुर्गा वॉरियर 1400, सिद्धि विनायक 2900, Saksham Marathas 2600, Spoil Brats 700, Kaira Titan 1200, UN Tilak Boys 2000 and Pro Gear Sports 700.
All right, let's start with the list 8. And before we move forward, all right, list 8, we are going to start. Before we start the list 8, I will again like to thank my sponsors, our sponsors, the title sponsors, Pro Gear Sports Management, Mr. Nilesh Paradkar, Mr. Ashish Gadkari, Mr. Nandu Kadam, Mr. Ronnie Anna, Mr. Rahul Walanj, Mr. Gurunath Midbhavkar, Vihan Holidays, Passion Sports, Mumbai City Hand Kesas, Arabic Cuisine, Mr. Ajay Karakji, Mr. Manoj Badra, Rane Events, Anupa Bise, Mr. Manoj, our cameraman, Mr. Ajay, Cable Telecast, DJ Setu, Mr. Dilip, Cake Treat, Nivara Graphics, and Vicky More. Thank you so much, everyone. Well, let's get back to business. And now we have Pankaj Gaikwad, PP, one of very good batsmen and a fantastic player that Tilak Nagar has. So, PP, anyone for PP? Buyers, come on, get back to business. Owners, come on, let's get back to business. PP, call number 1. Yes, Ranu, 100. 200, Spoil Brats, 201. 202, 300, 300, Ranu, 301, 302, 303, sold to Ranu.
Pandey,
All right, next.
you have only 700 points. You cannot go beyond 200. No.
Now, after your points are exhausted, okay, spoil brats, after your points are exhausted, you can't bid. Later on, you will have to select from the list, and per player, the fine will be applicable.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever players are left in the list.
All right, chalo, let's start the bid. Pankaj Gaikwad goes to Ranu Fighters. Prashant. Let's start the next one. Akshay Suryavanshi, Aki. Any bias for Aki? Any bias for Aki? Call number 1. Any bias for Akshay? Call number 2. Spoil brats. 101, 102, 103. Akshay goes to spoil brats. Next one. Akhilesh Kundar. All right. Any bias? Call number 1. Any bias? Call number 2. All right. Kaira. 101, 102, 200, 201, 202, 203. Tilak boys. Mozam Gadkari. Mozam. Anyone for Mozam? Call number 1. Anyone for Mozam? Call number 2. Anyone for Mozam? Call number 3. 100, 200, 300. Come on, guys. Then before picking up. All right. So 101, 102, 103 goes to pro. Mozam. Nitin Chari. All right. Anyone for Nitin Chari? Any bias for Nitin? Call number 1. Any bias for Nitin? Call number 2. Yes. Pro. 101, 200 Kaira. 201, 202, 300 pro. 301, 302, 300, 400, 401, 402, 403 sold to Kaira. Pankaj Surve, Pakya. All right. Any bias for Pankaj? Call number 1. Any bias for Pankaj? Saksham. 101, 102, 100, 200, 201, 300, 301, 302, 400, 401, 400, 500, 501, 502, 600, 601, 602, 700, 701, 702, 700, 800, 801, 900, 901, 902, 1000, 1001, 1000, 1100, 1101, 1102, 1100, 1200, 1201, 1300, 1301, 1302, 1400, 1401, 1402, 1403 goes to Siddhivinayak. Ramdani Yadav, Pahlu. Any bias for Pahlu? All right. Now Durga, 101, 102, 200 spoil brats, 201, 202, 300 Proger, 301, 302, 303 sold to pro.
He is one person who
Edward.
Ramdhani is the person with whom always you walk along. You will get lot of wives in the form of red pitchkaris.
All right, Edward D'Souza. Edu. Any bias for Edu? Call 1. Any bias for Edu? Call 2. Any bias? Okay, spoil brats. 100, 101, 102, 103 sold to spoil brats.
One thing has paid for Edward. Edward is the person who always used to come to Abhishek and say, "Hi Abhishek, how are you?" The day he has been announced he is going to be the owner.
All right, next one, please. Akash Lagas, Bernal. Pro, 101, 102, 100, 200, 300, 200, 300, 300. Actually, he 200, 300. Actually, I'd seen the sequence. You want to bid for 300? 201, 200. We'll check it in the camera. We'll check it in the camera. We have a third umpire here.